In this ticket, we have 3 security cameras that suddenly went offline, and we're going to find out why. We have a ticket from the help desk stating that security cameras went offline after contractors replaced the security cameras last night. It shows the DVR system is powered on, the cameras have link lights, users are unable to ping. The contractors used the same IP addresses as the previous cameras. In the ticket, we have the affected camera IP addresses along with the camera names. I will look at the security desk PC and see what we can find out there. So we'll go to the command prompt and try to reach camera 1. So we'll go ahead and do a ping 172.16.30.51 and see what we can get from camera 1. And we see the first ping is timed out as well as the second one. So as the ticket stated, the camera is unreachable. Okay, so now I want to check the DVR to see the camera status and what information DVR holds. So we'll go to the web browser and we'll type in https:/// and we'll pull up the DVR IP address, which is 172.16.30.11. So let's see what the DVR is saying. Okay, so on the DVR is online because we can reach it and log in. The status is online as well. And the recording status for the camera's connection failure. As we can see, the camera feeds for camera 1, 2, and 3 are offline. And we have the system alerts showing that the cameras are unreachable. So now I want to take a look at the switch. So we'll look at the ports on the switch to see if there's any misconfigurations there. So now we log into the branch switch and we'll run a show interface status. And let's see what VLANs the cameras are in. Okay, so we see the camera ports and we see some flapping above. I guess the cameras went down, ports came down and went back up. And we see the camera ports on VLAN 40. So now we'll do a show VLAN to see if that's a security VLAN. Yes, VLAN 40 is the security VLAN. So that's configured correctly. So let's run a show run just to verify the configuration of camera ports, just to make sure there's nothing blocking traffic or anything like that. So we look at interfaces GI1/0, so that's 9, 10, and 11, and they're all configured as access ports, and they are looking good. So now we'll go ahead and let's take a look at the branch router. The branch router is the gateway, so let's see what we can find out there. So first, we try to ping camera 1. So we'll go ahead and ping 172.16.30.51 and see what we can get. Okay, so the ping from branch router to cam 1 is unsuccessful. So right now, I'm going to run a show ARP to check the ARP table to see if the camera IPs are there. And we're going to take a look and see the MAC addresses associated with the camera. Okay, so we have all 3 IPs, .51, .52, and .53 there in the ARP table. So now I want to take a look at the switch and verify the MAC addresses that's associated with IP addresses in the router's ARP table. So we'll do a show MAC address table interface GI1/0/9, and then we'll do the same thing for 10 and 11. And we are not seeing any MAC address on the switch ports for the cameras. So what we'll do now is go ahead and take a look at the camera itself, and we can get the MAC address there, and we can also verify the IP settings and everything on the camera. In camera 1, we have the IP settings, and we can see right here, the default gateway is 172.16.30.1, so that's correct. But we look at the Ethernet settings, and we see the .51 IP address there, and we also have the MAC address displayed. So what we'll do now is go over to the branch router and see if the MAC addresses match the IP addresses for the new cameras in the ARP table. So we have the new cameras MAC address in an E5DD, and we have .51 is ABBA MAC address on the ARP table. So the MAC addresses do not match the ARP table. So the router's ARP table was still associating the old camera MAC addresses to the IP address. So the new camera MAC addresses never were associated to the IP addresses. That's the reason why the cameras are unreachable. So what we'll do now is run a clear ARP to see if that fixes the issue. And right now we'll try to, let's try to ping camera 1 and see if we can reach the camera from the branch router now. And the ping was successful. So that's good. So let's do another show ARP just to see if the IP addresses are associated with the new camera MAC addresses. And there we go. We see the camera MAC addresses and IP addresses have associated. Yep. So we are good to go. Right now, I want to take a look at the DVR to see the camera status. So we'll go ahead and head over there, back to the security desk, and see what we can see from the DVRs in. So now we pull up the DVR and we'll refresh the screen. And there we go. Recording status is active. The camera feeds for all 3 cameras show back online. System alerts cleared. Everything is restored successfully. So the issue was when the contractors replaced the cameras, the ARP table still maintained the old camera MAC addresses. That's why the DVR and no one else was able to reach the cameras. So we ended up clearing the ARP table on the router, which released the association to the old camera MAC addresses and allowed the association for the new camera MAC addresses. So in a production environment, you would not clear the ARP table, the entire ARP table on the router. You would clear the ARP for the individual devices affected. If you cleared the entire ARP table on the router, you would disrupt all the devices on the network, and you wouldn't want to do that. So thank you for your time. My name is Darryl Floyd with Pathview Networks, and I'll see you on the next ticket.